Hello everyone and welcome to your runner stretch and foam rolling session. So for this I just decided to do a bunch of different stretches that are going to be targeting a lot of muscle groups that often get tight when you're running, or if you're playing a sport that has running, or maybe you just did a bunch of workouts that happen to target those muscle groups that got sore. So we're going to be targeting your ankles, shins, calves, and hip flexors a lot, a little bit of your hamstrings as well, but mainly focusing on kind of like your calves, shins, that area, because that gets really tight for me. And at the end, I'm going to be doing a little bit of foam rolling, so if you have a foam roller, pull it out. If you don't, you can just do the stretching portion of this. So let's just start. We're going to start first to kind of warm up our ankles and kind of get them moving. So let's just start with some ankle circles. I want you to just do like a nice big circle. Rolling it out. I want to just get it nice and loose so that way you really feel, just get kind of loosened up, and then when we get into the stretches it's already a little bit loosened. Big circle. Alrighty, now go the opposite direction. So I was going counterclockwise, now I'm going to go clockwise. Making sure it's a nice big circle so you're really getting every part of your ankle nice and stretched out. Alrighty, so now I want you to roll over your toe and push your heel forward. You're going to feel that stretch in the top of your foot into your shin a bit. Really getting a nice deep stretch there. Just hold it here for a second. You can kind of push over and then come back. Just feel that nice stretch along kind of the top of your ankle. If you're running, if you play sports, this is going to get a little bit tight, so it's really nice to stretch out. Alrighty, so now we're just going to do the same thing on the other side, starting with those circles with your ankles. Nice, big. Don't rush this too much. You don't have to go super fast. Just kind of loosen it up, getting all the parts of your ankle warmed up. Alrighty, and then go the other direction. Okay, drawing a big circle with your toe. Alrighty, so now let's just do some knee circles, and this is more to warm up your legs before diving into deeper stretches, but this is really going to open up your hips. Nice big circle. Three, two, one. Alright, so now you're going to step one foot back, and you can step this as far back as you need to feel a stretch in your calf. And we're just going to start by having both feet facing forward. If you need to, slightly bend your knee and feel a deeper stretch more closer to your Achilles tendon, or if you straighten your knee more, you'll feel it up higher in your calf. Either way, you're going to feel this really good stretch in your calf, and you can have your legs more separate. Bend or straighten your knee. Just kind of feel, like, find where it's tight for you, and we're just going to hold it there. Alrighty, so now let's step your toe in so that it's more facing this side. It's more facing on the inside. And keeping your entire foot on the ground still, you're going to feel it more on the inside of your calf. And again, you can kind of figure out, like, bend, straighten your leg. You might need to step your feet a bit closer for this because this is going to be a slightly deeper stretch. Just feel where you want that stretch and just hold it there. Alrighty, and then finally step that toe out just a little bit so it's facing this direction, and you're going to feel it more on the outside. And again, you can adjust, step your feet wider, closer, bend, straighten your leg. Just find where you feel that stretch. Alrighty, come on up and we're just going to do all that on the other side. So first I'm just going to do a few ankle circles, kind of loosen my calf ankle up. Alrighty, so now we're going to do the same thing on the other leg, starting by just stepping it back, finding where you need that stretch and holding it. It's such a simple position, but this is something, it's so good, and I do this throughout the day. When you're cooking, when you're in the store, you can just step your heel back, you can feel a really nice stretch in your calf. This is a really good one. And as you get into it more, you can always separate your feet a bit more, get deeper. Just relax your muscles and feel that stretch. Alrighty, so now let's go on to the inside. Point your toe. Make sure that your whole foot is staying on the ground, so you're not lifting your heel. Your whole foot is on the ground this whole time, so you're really getting the best stretch here. Just keep breathing. And your toe doesn't have to be super pointed in. It just is like slightly inside, so you can feel that stretch on the inside of your calf. Gently come up, finally doing outside. Gently pointing your toe out. This one is not as deep as some of the others, so you might want to step your foot out a bit farther. And just, if you don't really feel a stretch, you can bend your knee and straighten that, and you're really going to feel that stretch. Again, making sure that your whole foot is on the ground, your heel isn't being lifted. Alrighty, come up. Let's do those ankle circles. Loosen up those ankles. After we kind of stretch them for a long time, it's kind of nice to just release that. Alrighty, so now come down to the ground and we're going to go into a nice lunge. And in this lunge, you want your back knee on the ground. You can have your hands on the ground if that's more comfortable, or come up. Feel that stretch in your hip flexor. We're going to hold this here for a little bit longer, and I just really want you to push your hips forward and really feel just a really nice opening in the front here. Nice deep breaths as you sink even lower. Just breathe. If you'd like, you can reach this hand, you can reach it away from that side, get a nice opening in the side of your body, but also your hip flexor a bit more, or you can reach both arms like back and away. Both of those are really just going to help to open this hip flexor up even more. So do whatever feels right for you. Alrighty, gently put your hands down and shift your weight back so you're straightening out the front leg, and you're going to feel that stretch in your hamstring now of the front leg. Gently reach over, and if you need to be up here for a second, this is where you feel more comfortable, stay there, or slowly release so that you're feeling more of a stretch in your hamstrings. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch will be, so just go to where you feel a stretch and no need to push yourself too far. Remember, nice deep breaths here. You can always flex your foot to get a deeper stretch in your calf. Or if you want just a nice stretch in your hamstring, you can just leave it be. Alrighty, so now we're going to go into a pigeon pose. So for this, I want you to drop this leg on the ground. And if you need to, you can bring that back knee a bit closer just so that way it's not as deep. Or if you want to deepen the stretch, stay where you're at and you can lean over your leg, go onto your elbows, or just stay here. This is going to be stretching out your glute of the front leg. Really nice deep stretch. Nice deep breaths. Always remember to have the nice deep breaths here. Don't tense up, it's very important to just relax your body and just breathe. gently come out of that, and we're going to do all the stretches on the other side, starting with just your basic lunge. So if you need to, start with your hands on the ground, and then as you get more comfortable into it, come up onto your knee. Or if you just want to stay on the ground the entire time, that's fine. Just depends on how flexible you are, how comfortable you feel on the stretch. And then you can always add a side reach or a back reach. The side reach is one of my favorites. It really just opens up your whole hip flexor, the side of your hip up to the side of your body. It's such a good stretch. Remember, every time you exhale, just get a little deeper and relax those muscles. Again, put your hands down, shift your weight back, go into that hamstring stretch now. These big muscle groups are very important to stretch out. So really make sure that you take the time to stretch out, your hip flexors, your hamstrings, your glutes, but also your calves and your shins. All your leg muscles really work whenever you're running, so it's very important to stretch them all out. And also, it just feels too nice. Like, why wouldn't you want to stretch out? It feels so nice after a nice long run to just relax your body. And stretching should never be too intense. So if you feel like this is like uncomfortable, you're not enjoying it, maybe you should just loosen up. Maybe go into your fingertips, come a little bit higher, lessen the stretch. You don't have to push yourself so hard here. It's not about pushing yourself. It's just about where do you feel that stretch, and then stay there. Alrighty, so now let's go into that pigeon pose. Remember, you can bring that back knee a bit closer if you need to. And for this one, I think I'm going to go down to my elbows. This side isn't as tight for me, so I can go a little bit farther down into it. And just breathe. This is probably no secret. This is one of my favorite stretches. It's so just relaxing. I literally can hold it for 5 minutes and still want to hold it longer. It's such a good stretch that you can just slowly melt into and relax all your muscles. Such a good one. It's one of my, probably my favorite stretch, honestly. And it's so good to stretch out your glutes if this is after a leg day or after a run. Whenever you use those big muscle groups like your glutes, you can get very, very, very sore. So this is a really good stretch to stretch it out. Alrighty, gently come out of that. And the stretching portion of this video is done. Now we're going to grab our foam roller for like the last couple minutes and just foam roll just the calves and shins. Tell me in the comments below if you like more foam rolling, and maybe I can do more of that. So we're going to start by going on for your calves. So for this, you can either do one leg at a time or both, but you can put both legs on. And what we're just going to start out by doing is rolling back and forth. So you're holding your body weight with your hands, rolling back and forth. Kind of finding a little place where you feel tight in your calves. Now for this, if you want to make it a bit more intense, stack your legs and get a deeper stretch in the bottom one, okay? So if this is really intense and you're not really comfortable, go back to just the 2 legs. I'm going to be here for a little bit, so I really just want you to relax into it. If you want to switch sides, just breathe. And if you want to just hold, if you feel like one specific area is tight and just hold it there, that's totally fine. Just do just your calves, so don't go past your knee here though. Breathe. This feels so good. A little bit painful, but really good. If you want to kind of point your toes in, you'll get a stretch more on the inside of your calves. If you point outward, you'll feel a stretch more on the outside. Alrighty. So now let's do our shins. So just gonna kind of be on like your hands and knees. Place your shins on the foam roller, and you're just gonna extend and bring it back in. And I want to go really slowly here so you really can feel your muscles against the foam roller. And if you feel like there's a spot that's a little extra tight, I really encourage you to just hold it there. It's okay if your muscles start to get a bit warm. That means that the blood is flowing to there, and that means it will increase your recovery. This is a very good thing if your muscles get a little bit warm. Nice and slow. You want to hold it. You can also go onto your elbows here if your wrists are a bit tight. 3, 2, and 1. Gently come out of that. And that is it for your stretch and foam roll for runners or anyone who just has some tighter calves, shins, legs. That's it for your stretch, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I haven't done really any foam rolling on my channel, so if you'd like me to do more, let me know. If you'd like a whole routine. I'm still a little bit of a newbie. I've had this for a couple months and kind of figuring it out, but I think it's a really neat tool that you can use for recovery. You can use it alongside stretching. It's a really fun tool to just help with that. So I will link this one below if you would like to purchase it. But that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to come back on Tuesday for another awesome workout, and I will see you then. Bye, guys.